Welcome to Owls After Dark. We call these episodes After Dark because owls do some of their best thinking at night.
And giving a hoot.
These are quick bonus episodes where Kristen and Katie talk about love, life, and the pursuit of happiness. And on today's episode, we are celebrating Independence Day and what it means to us. 4th of July does not necessarily represent independence for all people, and we definitely want to hold space for that. For me, Independence Day is my independence. I got divorced the last week of June, and I celebrated July 4th as if I had just won a battle for my life. And I feel like I did.
You sure the hell did. So take me back to the day you celebrated after the divorce. What was Katie feeling?
What was I feeling? It's funny how I don't remember how I felt other than just excited to be who I was. And to me, that independence is just being yourself. I remember where I celebrated. I was at the local pool. Well, it wasn't local. It was the Sheridan Club in Quincy. So you had to have a membership. I had a friend.
Oh, where was that man-made beach we went to one time?
That was Spring Lake.
That was fun. That was like the tannest I have ever been. I remember like taking my bathing suit off, and I was like, it looks like I still had a bathing suit on. It was disgusting. I was so tan.
I don't remember taking you to Spring Lake.
Yeah, I was like, one day you're like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I'm not doing anything. Might as well. I think we got like those like those margaritas.
Yes.
And we just laid. We didn't really go in the water. I think I was skeptical.
Yeah, so I was at Sheridan Club, which is a private pool with a friend, the only friend that I had in Quincy at that moment. And I remember just smiling a lot. And I took this picture of me and a bald eagle with the American flag in the background. Like my arms are wide open. I was about this big, as itty bitty, because I was divorced and sad. So I looked hot in a swimsuit. I just felt great. Like I was going.
Trauma does great things for your body. I mean, it does horrible things, but can also really do that. My parents, when I had a stroke, they each lost 15 pounds. I'm like, I gained 10. This makes no sense.
Yeah. But when I think about my Independence Day today versus then, like that wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't a real happiness, but it was a fake it till you make it. Holy shit. My life just crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not, as a history teacher, unlike the actual independence of America, where we passed the Articles of Confederation. They were like, oh shit, this isn't going to work. We passed something else. Of course I have to make it about history.
Of course you do.
But I think today I'm very grateful for declaring my independence and breaking away from something that was no longer serving me.
Mm-hmm.
What's
the difference between this Katie today? Or how is this Katie different from old Katie?
I don't feel like there is a married Katie and then there's Katie.
Mm-hmm.
So this Katie is the Katie that I was at 18 with just a lot more life experience. So, I'm not nearly as self-centered, right? Like all the other pieces that come along with the life, think I'm a little more humble, like all the things that happen as you grow up. But the almost 12 years of being in a relationship with someone and becoming what someone wanted, that Katie is no longer. So I guess I'm okay with saying I don't like to say the old Katie. I remember the show, The New Adventures of Old Christine with Elaine from Seinfeld. Yeah, nobody watched it. Sorry. I love her. No one watched it, but she was divorced. And so it was The New Adventures of Old Christine. I am the old Katie. I'm the Katie that I was before someone walked in and said, you should be a little different.
I love that. I am the old Katie. But so maybe for women entering marriage, what advice would you give them as far as like being themselves? Like the idea, what I take away from your story is that you really like you couldn't be authentically Katie for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And like, what was that like basically like suffocating her?
So there's a whole industry called self-help.
I've heard of it.
I spent a great deal of time in the self-help industry, which is why I launched the Katie Reads, what's Katie reading? Because I've read so many books. And there's a lot of really great growth that happens. But the best self-help book that I've ever read sounds so cliche. It would be like the Bible, but it is like Jesus loves you for who you are. Like who he made you to be is exactly who you're supposed to be. If there's some things about your behaviors that you maybe notice patterns that you want to change, etc., okay. But the self-help industry that is selling you on becoming a better version, I don't really like that. I think that's what I did for 12 years. I tried to do that. I tried to be better. The self-help people that are saying, be you, be bold, be brave. Maybe you don't want to be bold that day. Maybe you don't want to be brave that day, but be you. That's my takeaway. So entering a marriage, for me, it's if you have the right partner, then you aren't trying to change each other. You aren't excited about who the other person is going to become. You're excited about who they are.
Yes.
What about you? What does Independence Day mean for you? I mean, you've reclaimed independence over your body again.
I really think independence is kind of, going off what you said, is really just like loving myself and the body that I'm in right now. I mean, there were days after my stroke where I really hated myself. Like I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I looked like a monster. I didn't, but in my mind I did. And, you know, I couldn't move half of my body, and now I've regained some of that. And my left hand is still weak, but there are days where I seriously, I'm like, I don't care. If my left hand never gets back to full capacity, will it be sad? Yes, but do I think it's going to hold me back from anything? Absolutely not. So I think where I'm at right now is just reclaiming my independence over, I guess, what I think I should be. Like you said, like thinking like what you should be and just loving who I am. Like, sure, my body is a little weak in my left arm, but you know what? This body survived a fucking brain attack. How many people can say that? And I should be dead. So I'm really reminding myself to really love my body and appreciate what it does for me now, which is survive.
Yeah. I think you're a year into your journey. So I think about where I was in my first year of that independence. So much self-doubt. I went back to some self-help books, bought a few more self-help books. That just wanting to constantly, okay, I'm so grateful for where I am, but I want to be better. I still want to be better. It took me a while to kind of wake up again and say, hey, old Katie, people love you. And I think that your environment is so crucial. We talk about a parliament, a group of owls. I've seen your posts where you talk about, you know, prepping for your plot twist of who are you surrounding yourself with.
Because everybody has their plot twist, right? You didn't get married thinking you were going to get a divorce. You didn't open a business thinking that you were going to get ousted and not have that business anymore. Nobody does that. So I didn't think like, okay, one day in my 30s at the height of my career, I'm going to have a stroke. It's like they're just plot twists every day. And what you do right now will help you go through that. So I think that like loving yourself, like you talk about, finding the right partner, surrounding yourself with the right people. The people that I surrounded myself with during the beginning of my recovery were so crucial, because even on the days where I would complain and hate fucking everyone, they were the ones that are like, you got this. Like Kristen knows how to push, and if anyone's gonna make, you know, lemonade out of lemons, it's gonna be you. That's right, right?
Yes.
I feel like I always mess that up.
Yeah.
So
you were so much more prepared with the friends. I think when I think back about what made everything so hard and why my brain decided to have a mental breakdown and have anxiety and paranoia and delusions, is I didn't have anyone. I reached out.
That makes me so sad.
I reached out to friends. You were one of them, because my friends were everywhere but where I was living. And you weren't even like a close friend. I literally was reaching out to anyone. Like, let me go to
You did say you could come sit on my couch. I thought you were weird for asking me that, but I mean, of course, I was like, yeah, you can come. You're like, can I sit on your couch? I was like, sure, girl, if you want to drive here.
And so when I say I didn't have anyone, I did have family. And my dad, bless his heart, drove 3 hours and came and got me in Quincy and took me home. And that is where I rediscovered who I was my family. You had your family as well. And when I moved out here, I shared my story with everyone. I was super authentic. I wasn't holding back. And I started to weed people out. And
it's sad, but that's a crucial part of growing. That's the uncomfortable part.
And I had to get comfortable with watching other people choose to weed me out, you know, in that process of like, did I weed them out or did they not? You know, the people that I needed in my life at that time were people that if they were going out in a group and I canceled last minute, fine, right? Like I'm the seventh person in this party. It's not like you're, and what happens here out in East is that they'll stop inviting you if you stop showing up. And I just couldn't get out of bed. Like I was depressed.
Yeah, you're setting boundaries for yourself, which is another crucial part.
It is. And I didn't have that language. I didn't know that I needed those boundaries. But there's that old Katie, that part of me that decided, no, they're not rejecting me. We are mutually rejecting each other. And in some cases I was saying no. And when I look back at my parliament that I built, I had one close friend that I spent every summer with. And it was a different friend every summer because those friends kept meeting the man of their dreams and getting married or moving in or going to the burbs. And it wasn't that they left me out, of course. Things just change as you move to the burbs and I don't have a car. But that parliament for me, if you're surrounding yourself with women that are in the right place and they're meeting the right men, that means that you're in the right place. Like your turn will come.
Yes.
If you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of women who keep dating Mr. Wrong, you're going to keep dating Mr. Wrong. I do think that there's something to be said about surrounding yourself with people that you admire, that you want to be like in some way, right? Like people elevate you. Like
they force you to level up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said with surrounding yourself with people like that. I really wanted you to touch a little bit on, hold on, it's going to come to me. I should have had my notebook. Oh my God.
That's all right. I was going to say the other piece to that parliament though, is, I hit my third summer, my third friend, and I started to get a little exhausted. I did. I was like, I am tired of having to make a new friend that's single. And so that summer, it was the summer of a couple of friends. It was my dad spending the summer here, and he met someone who may not work out. And I had a friend who I spent the summer with who got engaged, and that didn't work out. But I met someone. And so it was finally my summer.
Love it.
Right before COVID hit.
Above all else, you've also had faith in Katie.
Ooh, I don't know that I have had faith in Katie. I had faith in God, and I have faith in the universe, and I don't believe that the God or universe, the world wants bad for Katie. I had faith that I did it once at 23. I packed up a U-Haul. I drove to Chicago with the Craiglisted roommates. I had a job resume, an interview for a tennis coaching job. I moved here almost the exact same way at 33, minus the U-Haul. So I knew that I could do it because I did it before, but I didn't do it alone my first time. I had my ex-husband lived there, so I had a boyfriend. So this time around, I had zero friends. I had to make friends of my own. I had a 4-month sublet, so a little less risky than a year lease. And I don't know if it was, I guess it was faith that if it didn't work out, I had somewhere to go. As an only child, my parents were going to let me back in the house again. I think that was it, right? Maybe it was faith in myself. Maybe I don't give myself enough credit.
Yeah, you had to have a little faith in Katie that you could do it.
My dad said, you always land on your feet.
Yeah, like a cat.
Cat with 9 lives.
So how many years between your divorce to meeting Dan?
Almost 5, so 4.5.
What would you say for women? Because we believe Dan is Mr. Right. He's the freaking best.
He is.
So what would you say for women who are just like frustrated and feel like, I'm never going to meet him? Because we've all been there. It took me a decade, multiple abusive relationships, and a friggin' stroke. Hey, I made it.
So I'm not going to recommend the stroke, although I do love that segued you right into a boyfriend. I have a book that I read love sex and dating.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not a believer, just forget about the God stuff and take what you can out of it. But the gist of the book is focus on becoming the person that you want your person to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think about Dan, like, and and how we ended up actually dating is I proclaimed January, the person I want to be. I launched a business. I started a podcast. Like, this is who I want to be. I want to go in this direction. And the whole time I talk about accidentally dating him is because I wasn't looking for, and everyone always says that, right? Well, I wasn't looking.
Right.
And then there's people on the apps that are looking. But either way, I was doing the things of what I want to become, like who I want to be and where I want to be. And Dan just, it was easy to recognize. Like Dan, if I had met him 2 years ago, I would have dismissed him. I would not have said that's a person for me. Dan is. He's an entrepreneur. He owns his own business. He values freedom and flexibility like I do. Thinking about raising a family where mom and dad both work from home, although dad needs his office door locked because, he's got to make the money for someone.
Right.
Just kidding. But like all of those values, it's easier to see them when you're becoming that yourself. And I will never forget, before I kissed him, it was the night I was going to kiss him. I was going to figure out if there was chemistry. We're sitting on the couch and he held my hand and a butterfly is my head. Like the other time you my hand, like for whatever reason, whenever this man touched me, I had like electric sparks. I was smitten, not knowing I was smitten. And he said, you know what? You're going to quit your job and you're going to be great. And I believed it.
I love this so much.
It.
I've never met Dan personally, but like just hearing the stories that you tell me about him, he just believes in you so much. And I feel like that's probably something, who doesn't want that in a partner?
Yeah. And independence. I had a partner that didn't. Yeah, he supported me on the surface of, yeah, okay, you can open this gym, but there was a big fight. It was a first married fight. And I said, if you don't let me, this is my dream. And if you don't support me in this dream, like, I think we should get divorced. We've been married for like 3 months. And here, Dan, like, I celebrate. It's like, you don't have this old job anymore. You're going to be great. You're going to do this. He's great. Darren supports you so much too.
He does. But Darren isn't like a big dreamer like how I am, which is I need someone to like level me. I don't remember when you were younger, you're like, oh, I need somebody opposite. Like, I don't really believe that. I think you have to, he is pretty opposite. He's a pretty like chill dude, but he makes me laugh. Like, so we're not that crazy or that opposite. Like, you still have to have like something in common. Yeah. I remember when we first started dating and people at work started finding out we were dating. One lady asked me, she's like, what do you guys have in common? I was like, each other. I don't know, none of your fucking business. Damn. But I remember coming home and telling him, like, she asked me what we have in common. And I go, what do we have in common? He's like, I don't know, but who cares? And I was just like, I just love you. Because to me, like, it was already like the wheels were like turning crazy. Like, what's wrong with us? Like, we don't like the same music, but you know what? He suggests music to me and I listen to it and I like it. So it's like, I feel like if you're open to a relationship changing, so what are you going to be celebrating this? Can you still be independent and have a partner?
Yes, I love that. So today is Dan's birthday as we record this, July 3rd, 1776, almost a bicentennial baby, which is so cute. But he couldn't wait to come out and how he wanted his own day, which is so him. That is what I love about him so much, is I am still very fiercely independent. And that hasn't changed. He's never asked me once to change. He never would. And so, I talk about Coffeegate when I spilled coffee in his bed and I was like, listen, I spill stuff.
A lot.
A lot. And his response was, now I have my first coffee stain towel. So, because if you want me, you're going to get the coffee stains too. Right. That is independent Katie. The freedom and flexibility to work from home, to pursue my dreams, to do it with a partner is, I mean, to me, that's the American dream. That is
Love that.
what we fought for independence for, is to live your life. And fun history fact for the day, the original Declaration of Independence, penned by Thomas Jefferson, freed slaves. It was independent for all men. The South wouldn't sign it, so they rewrote it. And so I know that today isn't a day that everybody celebrates or feels like it is pertaining to them. I mean, women weren't independent in 1776 either. We couldn't vote. We were property. Like, there was nothing good for us.
We still don't get equal wages. We still ain't independent, girl.
And we suffer from imposter syndrome, or these idiot men that actually don't have tools to do what they need. But so for me, and what I encourage people to think about when we celebrate as a country for Independence Day, is what is independence for you, and what does it mean to be INDE? Yeah, that's right. I couldn't help myself. Like, what does it
This
mean
is the second time she's busted this out, just so y'all know.
What does it mean to be independent for you? Because in America, with all of the shit we have going on right now, there's not a lot of independence, but there's some. Like, what are you excited about of being independent?
Katie, really quick, for women that are transitioning into anything, or they need help finding their independence, they need a little helping, a little push on the way, a little coaching, can they contact you?
Yes, thanks for asking. You can find me on Instagram at owl_coaching, or owlprofessionalcoaching.com, or Owl Professional Coaching on Facebook. First session's always free. If you're interested in finding out more about relationships and how to be independent, but also a partner, because I think that's really important. I will say that independent Katie, when I first met my ex-husband, did not know how to be a good partner. And when we talk about becoming the person that you want to be with, part of that is how are you a good partner with someone? How do you put their needs along with your own? And so I'm going to be starting a relationship dating coaching class. And it is the time to get in it for free right now. So if you're listening and if you're getting divorced, you're thinking about getting divorced, call me. Because I don't say that I didn't have to get divorced to be independent. But I reached a point where I realized that if I wanted to really be me, right, that I had to leave. And so I'm here to help coach people if they need that.
I love that. Perfect.
Kristen, before we wrap up today, when you think about independence, like, there are a lot of things that you couldn't do for yourself. And you talk a lot about putting your hair up in a ponytail and like feeling independent for that. Do you celebrate your stroke anniversary as sort of an independence for yourself, or do you have any?
I celebrate every day as like an Independence Day.
Yes, I love that.
I just feel like every day I get closer to maybe being like, obviously when you don't have like the full use of a body part, it weighs heavily on you. I mean, I could have put my hair in a ponytail forever, and now I can put my hair in a little baby bun up here, and it's very exciting. And it's funny because it's like, I live with my parents now. When I came down, my parents were like, look at that bun. I was like, I love them so much. They will cheer me on for anything. They're like, wow, that's high. I was like, isn't it? And so I feel like every day that I work and I put in the work, like I do yoga, I stretch out, or I do my part to hustle and get to get closer to my goal, that's an Independence Day for me.
I love that. If you want to get inspired by Kristen and what it looks like to live every day independently you, Kristen, where can people find more about you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Kristen Aguirre. That's where I'm most active. Also my Facebook page at Kristen Aguirre. Don't follow me on Twitter because I don't even know. I barely go on that. But also if you have a corporate event, you need some motivational speaking. I just started kicking that off. My first gig is with Google, so I'm very excited for that. So make sure, Google, have you heard of Google? Just little Google, no big. We're really pumped about that. So you can find me there. And don't forget to follow the Owl Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the places. We're there trying to provide inspirational things so that you can live your most bold, beautiful, and authentic life.
Absolutely. And we've got some amazing women on this week that we celebrated for Divorce Week. If you want to hear about reclaiming your independence, and finding love again, it happens. The dream is out there. You can check it out at Outstanding Women Leaders on Instagram, Apple Podcast, Podbean. follow us, write us a review.
And even if you've never been divorced, you can still get so much out of it. I mean, I've never been divorced and I loved our guests so much. A lot of self-love talk. And if you've been through a painful breakup, you're going to want to listen to this. Or even a painful goodbye for anything. This will help you be like, okay, it's going to be okay.
You know, the more I talk to people with different trauma, like you talk about your stroke and hearing, like becoming independent and doing things independently was so important for you. That felt that way for me getting divorced. The first time that I paid a bill on my own because I hadn't paid it for a while, like all those things that make you feel independent, regardless of what, it doesn't have to be the same, but being able to do things for yourself feels amazing.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Being yourself feels amazing. So regardless of what your independence looks like for you, celebrate 4th of July. Celebrate your own independence.
Safely though, please do not be out at parties. Wear that mask. Don't drink and drive. What else should we say?
Don't shoot firecrackers at each other in the face.
Don't put it in your ear. One of my neighbors did that when I was a kid. He put a firecracker in his ear.
Ooh, how did he think that was going to end?
We were children. I honestly don't. He's deaf in one ear now. Ooh. Poor Frankie. He was so sweet. I mean, he's alive. I don't know why I'm talking about him like he's dead. He's not dead. He's alive. He's actually amazing. And I believe he's in the army now.
Great. So he's super independent with his
Yeah, he's super independent. Shouldn't have put a firecracker in his ear, but look at him now. Meeting adversity.
I think it's a really great way to end this podcast. Happy Independence Day. Don't put a firecracker in your ear.